Hey guys, what's going on? It is Talk Force TV here. We are back with Scott to my left.
How are we doing, Dan? All right?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Good, thank you. Now I'm up and about.
Yeah, it's been one of them mornings. I've been like it most of the morning. It is Bournemouth away tomorrow, which it's a tough game anyway. And with all the weather and all that within England that could be coming, how do you feel going into it?
I feel quite confident. I think. I think away from home, I don't think Bournemouth have been great. I thought they might threaten to kind of like run away with Fulham at one point, but I think they've stuttered a little bit. So I don't think they're kind of unbeatable. And you kind of think if Forest get it right, then we could definitely cause an upset. But I kind of feel like we owe them a little bit. I don't know. I think we owe them a game, a decent game, because we kind of rolled over a few times, particularly last season and that. So yeah, I kind of feel like we owe them a result, and I'm fairly confident tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a lot more different from start of the season when we played them. I mean, change of manager and a couple of new signings. It's like got to go more, like you said, a lot more confident than we did do last couple of games against them. Because we kind of like let them beat us. That makes sense.
Yeah, I was watching the goals yesterday. I found a clip on YouTube, watched like all the goals from the start of the season, and it's just mad watching the kind of the difference as well. We did score, to be fair, even under Houghton, we scored a couple of good goals, but we didn't score many of them. But yeah, the difference is like unbelievable. The confidence, you can just see it oozing.
Yeah, yeah, I do agree with you on that. To be fair, it's so much different. I mean, especially with Bournemouth, they aren't the best ones at the minute. Like they're winning some games, but then when they do lose some games, they are losing the games as well.
Yeah, I think they're. Yeah, I don't think they're great. I think if we can catch them on maybe a bit of an off day, but I think then to go toe to toe, when you beat Arsenal and you beat Leicester, you shouldn't be fighting with anybody in this division.
And that's the other thing as well. Because last couple of games, bar Stoke game where we were a bit laggy and Stoke kind of took control, we literally go toe to toe with everyone at the minute, and we seem to be coming out on top, which is brilliant. And going into the game, you got to be thinking, yeah, we should be beating these 2-3-0 easily.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I suppose the challenge for Forest is to keep that level of performance up. So
Yeah,
you expect him to play like we did against Leicester every week. It's going to be, that's going to be really difficult. So I think the Stoke game, I kind of felt that will be a difficult match. So I
yeah,
think, to take a point, I think it was a good result, and especially to take a point in the manner that they did, with down to 10 men and Yatesy scores in injury time and whatever. That's a cracking result. So I think should have plenty of confidence going into it tomorrow night. It's a big game, probably the biggest game of the season. We keep having these biggest games of the season. It's amazing as fans, isn't it? It's kind of like every
yeah,
week, the biggest game of the season. So I don't think I've been this excited of being a Forest fan for a long time.
definitely. I mean, it's nice to be thinking like that. That we are thinking biggest game of the season, and we're at the right end of the table, not the one end.
Yeah,
So it's quite nice. I mean, when you looked at it, you would have took the point against Blackburn and the win against Stoke, but we got it past first last week. And I mean, first to fight back against Stoke like we did with the circumstances, it was brilliant and just shows the character of the squad.
yeah, and I think the pleasing thing has been that Cardiff defeat, the way they've responded after that. Because you watch that, and it was alarming how bad they were on that day, and it was, I don't know, yeah, a bit concerned, but they've obviously kind of, that was a blip, pulled the socks up, and they've just cracked on, and they're kind of, back on form a little bit.
Yeah, we are. I mean, tomorrow night we'll see the change in goal for the first time in since the Middlesbrough game under Eaton, and with Samba being sent off against Stoke. How did you find that one?
I don't know. He's been a bit of an accident waiting to happen for a few weeks, hasn't he, Breeze? He can't do it. He's stupid. I don't know. I mean, he's obviously got this tag of being pardon my language. I won't say the word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
A certain kind of house. And he's been pushing his luck. To be honest, he pushes his luck with it anyway. And when his confidence up and the team are playing well, he just seems to kind of thoroughly enjoy it. He's loving his football. He's winding the fans up. He's winding the opposition up. I think because we're doing so well, his confidence is just soaring and soaring and soaring to the point where actually, Breeze, you can't do what you want. There are rules that you've got to follow. And it's kind of like you need to rein it in, lad. He got lucky against Derby, obviously with that pushing and shoving in the goal map. A booking, I think, was fair, but it's like even when Ravel Morrison got sent off, he's kind of like he's ran 50 yards out of his goal to be giving Morrison some gob in the background. He's obviously the Leicester game, he's come out and had a rush of blood when he's not. It's almost like he was bored. He didn't have anything to do, and he needed to do something. It's kind of like, well, don't do that for God's sake. So he cost the goal then, and then. Yeah, I don't really know what happened. I mean, I've watched it back, and it's like, yeah, you can't do that to players. But I thought their player, the ref should have blown for a free kick anyway, because of when he was trying to release the ball, that was a foul. So where he got a penalty decision from, it's kind of like, hang on a minute, it's kind of like the first foul is on him, and then the retaliation, but he's obviously just having it as all as one go. He's always like giving a penalty for assault, hasn't he, really, for clipping that player. But yeah, it was stupid to do it. Maybe 3 games sitting out might just get his feet back on the floor a little bit. Because I do love him. I love him, and I love his antics. I just think he's a brilliant keeper, brilliant character. But yeah, he's got to rein it in a little bit. He's trying to find that balance, I think.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I think if VAR would have been involved, I think that it would have been a different.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah. Who would you start against Bournemouth between Hayfarth and Smith? Because obviously Smith hadn't really played since pre-season, and Hayfarth, obviously his last game against Middlesbrough, where, to be fair, I felt sorry from that night, even though it just got chucked into the deep end against them, and he made that mistake. So who would you want to start against Bournemouth?
I think Hovath. He needs to play, doesn't he? They brought him in the summer. I don't know whether they brought him in the summer to be a backup or whether they thought that Samba might go. I don't know. So I'm assuming that he'll get his chance. But obviously, I think that was a huge signing. So whether Steve Cooper sees it any different, but he's more experienced, I think, than Jordan Smith. And like I say, Jordan Smith, I think played. When was the last time he played? About 2 years ago in a Carabao Cup game or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. I remember he got sent off in one year, but I can't remember the last time he played, to be honest.
Yeah, he played against Bury in the Cup where he got sent off. Then I think he played it against Chelsea in the FA Cup under Sabri. Yeah, under Sabri then.
Yeah. So yeah, I think go with that American lad, because we haven't really seen what he could do. I know he made that mistake, but to be honest, the atmosphere was fairly toxic at Forest, and it's probably not a good time for him to be coming in to make his debut. But I think he probably deserves a fair crack of the whip now that he's got 3 games to kind of put that right. It's massively important time, so he's got to go for it. You know what I mean? Grab the opportunity. If he does really well, he might bench Samba. So
there was a question put on yesterday, and if that's sort of similar to what you just said about if Hayfarth plays at his skin next 3 games, would you keep him in for the Huddersfield game?
Yeah, this is it really. I mean, I'm kind of a believer that if you're playing well, you you keep the shirt. You don't deserve to lose the shirt. And I think, if anything, Samba's behaviour has probably been a little bit irresponsible in terms of causing problems for his teammates. I think more than anything that they're doing their utmost, and he's having a bit of a rush of blood. So yeah, I think he's really got to kind of sort that bit out of his game, because you don't want to be losing your trust in your teammates around you. So I think Horvath, he's got this chance now. If he comes in and keeps a few clean sheets and plays well, then I think you keep hold of the shirt.
Definitely. Obviously, it'd be the return of Steve Cook at Bournemouth as well tomorrow, which will be a very big moment for him. Obviously, he's been there 10 years, been club captain, and since he's been here, he's been like slotted back in. So it'd be a big moment for him tomorrow.
Yeah, it feels like he's been at Forest for a long, long time. It feels crazy to think he only kind of started in 5-6 weeks ago. So he's slotted in really well. He's been a really good signing. I think we look brilliant as a back three with him, Worrell and McKenna. I think it looks awesome with Spence and Lowe on the other side. I think it's just really, really good. They can all play. So I think he's been like a great signing. I think he had that blip at Cardiff and a rush of blood against Derby. But other than that, he's been, he's probably been an 8 out of 10 performer, I would say, kind of, most games. So I would think that he'll be going up there to kind of with a point to prove, really, that he didn't get many games, I don't think, for Bournemouth. I don't think Scott Parker fancied him that much. So I think he'd be wanting to go back to say, you were wrong to get rid of me. I deserved another crack of the whip. But I think in some respects he'll be going back. Probably don't want to sound arrogant, but Forest are a bigger club in terms of fan base than Bournemouth. And, if you've got 2,500, 3,000 trickies, or I don't know, probably not that many actually, but if you've got a full end and they're going crazy, I think he'll be well up for it, and you can see him. He'll be wanting to get 3 points tomorrow, just to kind of show that A, they're wrong to get rid of him, but B, he's arguably going on to better things.
Yeah, definitely. It was with points to prove, and it is quite nice for that to have, to be fair. I mean, for our perspective as well.
Yeah, I think I don't know, I just feel confident tomorrow. I just feel, Brennan Johnson's on it. We've got that back three. Jed Spence, if he's on it, Max Lowe. We've just got some really good players. Keenan Davis, I think, has transformed our forward line. I think we look even more mobile than what we did before.
Yeah, I mean, Keenan Davis, I've always said it for a while now that we needed like a Keenan Davis or a Dele Adebola sort of type up front who gives us that something different from what we have. No disrespect to Grabban, because we all know what Grabban's about, and Taylor's not had the best of times at Forest. So it just gives us that something different from what we didn't have that like 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah, I was just trying to think. I don't know, going a long way back now, but like Marlon Harewood was that type of player, wasn't he? Where he could spin a defender and he could run past them with pace. And I think we've not had a player like that for a long time. And for a little while, going back years ago, we had Collymore and Campbell and those types of players. It was a real feature of Forest games. So I think it's really exciting watching Keenan Davis, roll somebody and then kind of bomb on. Against Leicester, I kind of sat in lower Brian Clough, so it was really close to the pitch. And it don't often make you appreciate the ability of these players when you're kind of watching it, kind of on. It's almost like if I was on a Sunday morning on the touchline watching Sunday League players, and all of a sudden I'm watching Keenan Davis at a kind of similar viewpoint, and it was just his first touch, his strength, his ability to roll players. Just really impressed.
Yeah, same here. Even Sam Su, since he came in, he offered that something different as well, which it's a bit different to what Davis and Grabban do, don't you think?
I think it's just nice that we're signing like players who could be proactive on the pitch. You know, we've had a few signs where they just come in, they run around a bit, and they don't do no. We've had this for 2 or 3 years, but the players that are coming in, they look like they're up for making a difference. And I think this is obviously down to Steve Cooper's style of playing. Harry encourages players to play football. It's like, you know, Surridge won that penalty against Blackburn. He's kind of that touch was unbelievable. That pass to set, you know, for Max Lowe to put that cross in for Brennan Johnson, it was like a cracking bit of play. So I think Cooper's obviously worked with him before, knows what he's about, and I think in some respects, Sturridge probably never thought he'd get a move like he's done. So he's probably got a right opportunity to think, right, I can kickstart my career big time if I, you know, make a go of this. So you would have thought his motivation levels are going to be right up there.
Yeah, definitely. Who would you start? I mean, in that midfield sort of three, as you call it, and up front, would you start Garner, Yates, Colbert, or would you start Surridge up top with Davis, or would you start Surridge and Johnson? I mean, it's a challenge. Last this is tough to see.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think playing away from home, I'm not too keen on. I think Garner's a bit of more of a box-to-box player than being a 10. But obviously, Jack Colback gives us quite a bit of insurance there. So I don't know. I mean, we could go toe-to-toe with them, but it might be a bit risky. I think I'd probably start with Colback and Yates and Garner in front of them. Keenan Davis, Zinkernagel. I think that'd be it, wouldn't it? I can't have losing count.
Yeah, it's nice to have that when we have got them options where sort of season you'd be looking at that bench and be like, right, okay, we got Martin, we got 50% Joe Lolly, we got this and that, and now we got players, we got Surridge, we got Grabban when he comes back, we got Lolly, we got Martin, we got Garner if you don't play him, we got obviously Yates when he came off bench. Just after all these things, you're like, okay, we have to have really good squad now.
I think of like Johnson, Davis. I think Zinkernagel is probably as good as the front three is, isn't it? Really, and then I think I'd play. To be honest, I think I'd play Yates and Garner with Spence and Lowe either side, and you're free at the back. So yeah, I think I'd probably go for it. To be honest.
Yeah, definitely. What would be your scoreline for the Bournemouth game?
Oh, I think 2-1 Forest. I think it's conceding, but I don't know. I just fancy a late winner.
You fancy scoring tomorrow?
I fancy Brennan scoring. Let's say Steve Cook.
Oh, last minute winner.
Yeah, that'll do, mate.
Yeah, top bins. You heard it first.
Yeah, there we go. I've just called it.
Yeah, people are gonna be looking back like, yeah, Scott called that on the.
Might have to put a bet on it now.
Yeah, I said 3-2. Funny enough, I think the big goals in there. It's just, I think we will concede for some reason, but I think enough to win it.
Yeah, I think so. I think there'll be goals. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. So that's it. Thank you Scott for coming on.
No worries. Thanks for having me, Dan.
It's right. So hope you guys enjoyed the content. Alex, thank you for watching and goodbye.